Welcome to the Radio Don podcast. I am the aforementioned. It is Monday, April 27th, 2026. Um, if you're listening to this on the Substack, please follow. If you're listening to this on YouTube, please follow and pass around. And also it would help if you're on the Substack if you would give us a paid subscription. It's only $5 a month, and if you decide to do it for the whole year, you get 2 months for free. Just go to the place where you can do that and take care of that, and it would really help out. Now, since we are all Alex Jones this morning, we're recording this in the morning. At least it's still morning for the next 10 minutes. Since we are all Alex Jones this morning, what was your red flag about what may have happened on Saturday night at the correspondence dinner? First off, there are some signs that there's still life over at CBS News. There was a CBS reporter that kind of mentioned the fact that all of the shenanigans happening at the Washington Hilton was happening in the hallway, far away from the main ballroom where everything was going on. Now, the shots were audible, and they did get the president out, and he is safe. Thank God, because I've lived through an assassination or two, and I don't want that to happen to anyone, even this guy. But all the stuff happened way, way away from the ballroom. So it's very possible the president or anyone else in that building was ever in danger. Even if there was danger, it would be minimal. Then somebody brought up, and I kind of reposted that on the TikTok. Here's a guy who basically got on the train, not an airplane, but he got on the plane specifically, supposedly, to avoid the TSA and all that. Apparently, you can get on a train without having to go through all that crap. And it is amazing to me that hasn't happened yet. But he gets on a train just simply to go ahead, and he gets on the plane with enough armaments to make Bibi happy, if you know what I'm talking about. He gets past supposedly the tightest security on the planet. Then there are gunshots. The number is still, confusing to me. 4, 5, 6. No one knows. But the guy who is apparently not Caucasian. I don't know if he's a mixed race. I don't know if he's African American. I don't know. His first name is Cole. That's another red flag because it sounds like the type of name that you find, in a B plot on The Young and the Restless. They caught him. They subdued him. Assuming that this is an African American man in a building filled with MAGA, and he's still alive and unhurt. Does that raise the people's eyebrow just a hair? Really? Really? Room full of Naga and a black man who shows up with, multiple armaments is still alive? Really? No, a lot of people are, speculating that this is just another thing to keep our minds off of certain PDFs that supposedly have yet to be released. My theory, of course, is they're typing as fast as they can, but that's another story. What if there was another reason for that? And again, this is just speculation. I have no knowledge of anything. This is just my own idle tinfoil hat theory. And I will always label these things as my own tinfoil hat theory so people will not think that this is actual information. But then some of you people will probably think that. But what if? What if everything that played out on Saturday played as it laid? I did forget one thing: the manifesto that the alleged shooter left behind. I am now starting to become very suspicious of any manifesto because that's evidence, you stupid twerp. That's evidence. You've just confessed to it on paper. That's number one. Number two, if I were doing it, and by the way, I don't intend to do anything like that. If this guy is guilty, he should get everything that's coming to him. But, I wouldn't write all that stuff down. I'd just do it. Especially if you come from Los Angeles. We just do stuff here. We don't give out manifestos. We just say, yo, bang. For real. But let's assume for about 5 seconds that everything that happened on Friday played as it laid. How do we know this guy was a lone wolf? How do we know this guy didn't do that out of, say, a suggestion or maybe orders? Now, if there were orders, we can speculate who gave the orders. Was it Iran, Israel, the Russians, or maybe somebody down the street? Somebody who's kind of realizing that the guy they're honoring in that ballroom that night had become a problem. And that there's really no way you can get rid of the problem because, in Congress, you don't have the numbers. And you've already decided you're going to rig the election anyway. And you realize that the thing that's worse than keeping that guy in is letting the Democrats in. So you find somebody, maybe somebody who fits a certain profile, who probably also believes in the things you believe in. like I say, he fixed a certain demographic. He's allowed to go in. Think about this. Secret Service, military police, DC police, and this guy, one black guy with arms shows up and they let him in the building? For effing real? Anyway, you find somebody who, basically is willing to do an S-side mission. And you eliminate the problem. Couch surfer slides in. Things continue as they were going to continue, only you have somebody who is seemingly more sane. The only thing missing here is Tom Cruise and a Lalo Schifrin soundtrack. But we are at a point where nobody believes anything they're seeing right now. No one's believing that. But we have to go on as if it actually happened the way it was laid out to us, because if you say anything like that, you might be taken over by the Onion one day. And that's all I have to say.